In connection with your investigation as a lead investigator, did you happen to go to Nu'uailua Bay in this case?
Yes, sir.
And what was the purpose of going to Nu'uailua Bay?
I was informed that possible evidence was located at that location.
And do you after receiving that information, do you recall when you would have gone to Nu'uailua Bay?
That afternoon, sir.
When you say that afternoon, would this be the Thursday or the Friday afternoon? Which afternoon are you talking about?
Friday afternoon, sir.
Okay. And would this have been before or after you would have gone to Charlie Scott's residence?
This was after, sir.
And when you went out there, did you go alone or with anyone else?
I went with evidence technician Tony Earl, sir.
You know, before we get to that, Sergeant, I did forget to ask you this question. As a lead investigator, were you made aware of whether or not any helicopter searches would be conducted in a search for Charlie Scott?
Yes, sir.
And how were you made aware of that?
I was informed of this information.
Do we have a picture of Malcolm's Mark 18 when we were taking?
I can.
Yeah, if we don't, that's fine. We can talk about
Just what this is I have
it. Okay. Let's focus on that day. When were you alerted that helicopter searches were going to take place?
February 13th in the afternoon, sir.
So this would have been that Thursday?
Yes, sir.
And I think I might have cut you off. How were you made aware of that?
So, Your Honor, I had no objection to him being made aware of it, but in terms of the truth of the matter asserted, when it took place and the substance of it, I had an objection to your statement.
Is that an objection?
Yes, objection is hearsay, yes.
All right, the objection is sustained.
Move to strike the answer.
You said there was no answer.
No motion, no motion. Thank you.
There's no answer yet.
Thank you. After you were alerted about the helicopter, did you observe helicopters yourself conducting, or not conducting a search, but observe helicopters on Thursday, February 13th, 2014?
Yes, sir.
And in which area did you observe these helicopters? Or is it more than one helicopter or just one?
There's only one helicopter.
Okay.
Sir.
In which area did you observe this helicopter?
In the area of milepost 18.
Okay, now milepost marker 18, you testified that that was an area that you received an alert earlier.
Yes, sir.
Did you go to milepost marker 18?
Yes, sir.
And when you got there, was there anyone already there?
Yes, sir.
And this is a obvious question. Did you get there after you had recovered the blue jeans that we already discussed? Milepost marker 18.
After we recovered the blue jeans, yes, sir.
Were police personnel already there?
No, sir.
So were you the first police personnel to arrive at milepost marker 18?
To my best of my knowledge, yes, sir.
And what, if anything, well, first of all, did you meet up with anyone there at milepost marker 18?
Yes, sir.
And who was that?
That would have been the other two detectives, Dennis Lee and I believe Detective De Los Santos.
And so you got there before they did?
About the same time.
Were there any citizens there?
Yes, sir.
Did you meet up with any of those citizens that were already there?
Yes, sir.
Did you receive information from any of those citizens?
Yes, sir.
After receiving information from the citizens, what did you do?
We checked out the area where they pointed out and to see what we could find.
Okay, now the area that they pointed out, could you describe that for us?
It's on the Makai side, ocean side of Hana Highway.
Is there a guardrail there?
A guardrail. And over the guardrail, about a couple feet of vegetation that then drops off to a sheer drop.
And were you able to, did you look over and take note of that sheer drop?
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you able to give us an estimation of, I guess, after you looked over, how far that drop goes down?
Several hundred feet, sir.
Were you able to locate or find anything in that area?
No, sir.
You yourself?
No, sir.
Now, with respect to the, well, let me ask you this. Did you describe what the vegetation looked like to the area that was pointed out to you?
Which particular area?
The area where the citizen had pointed out to you by milepost marker 18.
I did not describe that area.
Okay. What specifically was pointed out to you by the citizen with respect to milepost marker 18?
Okay. At that location, on the guardrail, underneath the guardrail, on the what you call the roadway surface, appeared to be marks, drag marks, or something, some kind of marks along the roadway underneath the guardrail.
Is that the best you can describe the marks?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And anything else you observed in that area past the marks?
Like you got the guardrail. On the other side of the guardrail, there's a couple feet of dense vegetation. After that, it just drops off. Pretty much just straight down the rock.
Okay. And what, if anything, did you notice about the vegetation by the marks?
Some of it appeared to have been, like pushed down, bent, broken. Something fell on the vegetation right there.
Now, with respect to my question about the helicopter, at some point by milepost marker 18 in that area, did you notice a helicopter after being informed of the helicopter search?
Yes, sir.
And approximately how long did you notice the helicopter from the time you get there? How long did it take for you to notice the helicopter?
Right away, as soon as they arrived on scene, sir.
Okay. No, from the time you got there. From the time you got there, was there a duration between the time you got there and the time you saw the helicopter, Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
And approximately how long was that?
I can't give you an exact estimation of time, sir.
Well, was it within?
It was approximately, say, 30 minutes.
And can you describe, or did you watch were you able to look and watch the helicopter as it arrived and did its search?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you describe that for us?
From my vantage point on the roadway, once Air One came on station, I was able to talk directly to them via our TAC channel. Well, not directly to them, but from our TAC channel to our dispatch, who relayed to Air One what areas I needed to be searched.
Okay, and Air One, is that the helicopter we're referring to?
Yes, sir.
And you said from your tech channel?
Our tactical channel.
Or
yes, sir.
tactical channel, okay. Is that the, you have something on your shoulder right now. Is that what you would use for your tactical channel?
Well, this on my shoulder is a lapel mic that's attached to our police issued radios. That's on my waist.
Okay, so that's something else.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you said you were able to relay information to Air One, which is a helicopter.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what, if any, type of instructions, what were you given?
I wanted Air One to make checks of this area from top to bottom, as far as they could go down to the valley floor, check all along the edges of this cliff to make sure to see if they see anything that we may need to later on or investigate.
And at that point, did you have any problems or difficulty communicating with Air One through the dispatch?
No, sir.
And could you describe the actions of the helicopter as you watched it?
Air One, the helicopter basically did what I wanted. They started at one side of the valley, worked their way down towards me, a little past me, and just basically scanning this whole area.
And when you say scan this whole area, can you tell us I'm not sure if you can tell us the distance, but can you tell us the area that you observed Air One scanning?
Are you asking for
Is it
a
from
landmark?
Is there a landmark or a milepost marker you could give us?
That would be around milepost 18.
We don't have anything to show on that now. Okay, great. And to your knowledge, well, how long was the Air One out there doing this search?
Approximately 45 minutes.
And after the 45 minutes, did Air One just leave the area?
They informed me that they had to return back to base because they were running out of fuel.
I'll object to as to your safe.
The objection is sustained.
Okay, at some point after everyone had finished the search, did anything or was anything reported to you that was recovered pursuant to Air One's search?
No, sir.
Now, in addition to Air One doing the search as you described, do you know if, pursuant to your investigation as lead detective, if members of the Maui Police Department repelled by climbing over the drop area that you described by milepost marker 18?
No members of the Maui Police Department did that, sir.
Did members of any other agency do that you're aware of?
Not any, I would say agencies, but there were 2 individuals that were repelling.
Okay, were they part of the search team from the police department?
No, sir.
Now, how do you know 2 people were doing the repelling or the search?
I observed them
And where would this have been? Which area would this have taken place?
in the area of milepost 18.
Pursuant to these 2 people that were repelling, well, first of all, were they identified to you?
Yes, sir. As far as being members of the family search party, yes, sir.
And as they did the repelling, to your knowledge, was anything recovered and reported to you from their repelling down by milepost marker 18?
No, sir.
You know, Sergeant, you mentioned at some point you did go out to the New Ailua Bay area. Is that
Yes, sir.
correct? And would this have been during that Thursday, February 13th or Friday, February 14th?
This was the afternoon of Friday, February 14th.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, you did mention that was after after going to Charlie Scott's home, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you went to the New Ailua Bay area, were there members of the Maui Police Department already there?
Yes, sir.
And you testified earlier that items had been recovered from there. Is that correct?
Well, items haven't been recovered.
Or I'm sorry, had been found or discovered there,
Located, yes, sir.
located.
Yes, sir.
And what items, if any, were you made aware of when you got there on Friday, November 14th.
On February 14th.
I mean, Friday, I said November, right?
Yes,
I
sir.
meant February, that's correct.
So I'll object, calls for hearsay?
The objection is sustained.
Okay, when you got there on Friday, February 14th, what did you do?
At that time, I met with Lieutenant Dodds, who was in charge of the Special Response Team, SRT. He informed me.
Okay, without telling us what he informed you, did you confer with him?
Yes, sir.
And was this, where did you confer with him at?
On the dirt roadway.
Was this the dirt, is this the dirt roadway at Nuailua Bay? Or is this a dirt roadway within a path at Nuailua Bay?
This would be the dirt roadway at Nuailua Bay.
The entrance part or the after you had already gone down?
After we already gone down.
Okay. I'm just going to show them the pictures. To
Yeah.
Nuailua Bay and
Yeah, because you're right on time. It's perfect. Okay, here you go.
Is this it?
This is your order. I wrote it on a sticky because you got the 62 in there.
I'm going to give this to you.
I'll give those to her. Find your place.
Yeah, I'm going to show you a series or maybe a photograph.
These are the next ones. And they're in
This is just
60.
the outside part, right?
Here, right
The
here.
pathway.
Yeah, this is outside. And this is the last one. That's the
Council. Your Honor, state would mark for, state would have marked for identification State's Exhibit 122 in sequence 122, 123, 124. State's Exhibit 62 and 125. I'm sorry, 122 to 125 and Exhibit 62 be marked for identification and ensuring counsel of those same exhibits.
In that order. That's the down path, and this is the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, may I approach?
You may do so.
Okay, Sergeant, I'm showing you what has been marked for identification. State's Exhibit 122 through 124, Exhibit 62, and Exhibit 125 for identification. If you could take a look at those, and I'll ask you further questions when we're done.
Okay, wait. Sorry. Yeah. Ready? Ready when you are.
The first one is the entrance, right?
Here, hold on. And
121.
121's the pants.
I got 121 there. My bad, my bad. Mhm.
62, 25.
You know, Sergeant, do you recognize those photographs?
Yes, sir.
And what are the photographs of?
The overall views of the entrance and the roadway to Nuailua Bay.
And do these photographs accurately depict the overall view and the entrance to Nuailua Bay?
Yes, sir.
Now, with the exception Your Honor, this time the state would move the evidence on State's Exhibits 122, 123, 124, State's Exhibit 62, and State's Exhibit 125, all marked for identification.
Brief voir dire, if I may, Your Honor?
Proceed.
Thank you. Detective, do you know who took those pictures that you just reviewed?
If those are from,
No, not yet, but those pictures, do you know who took those pictures?
those particular pictures, no, sir.
Okay. Do you know when they were taken?
No, sir.
Okay, so in terms of what they reflect, you can testify that they reflect the, what was that, overall view of the area? That issue, is that your testimony?
No, Judge, I object. The testimony is the overall entrance.
No, it was overall view and entrance.
Right.
So overall view, right?
Yes, sir.
And the entrance of that MBA area.
Yes, sir.
But you don't know when that picture reflects of that area, right?
No, sir.
Okay. So in terms of the accuracy of those pictures relative to the growth of vegetation and everything, you can't verify the accuracy of those pictures relative to the date of Friday, February, was it 14th, 2014? Is that correct?
I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Yeah, so relative to specifics like the size of the vegetation in those pictures, for example, you cannot testify that that picture accurately reflects, for example, the growth of the vegetation back on February 14, 2014, that Friday, right?
No, sir.
It's just the general area.
Generally, yes, sir.
Okay. No further questions.
You understand? State would move this into evidence.
I'm sorry?
State would move this into evidence based on the foundation from.
No objection, thank you.
State's Exhibits 62, 122, 123, 124, and 125 marked for identification purposes are received in evidence. If you wish to publish, you may.
Yeah, we'll take a break this time because it'll take a while.
All right. All right, then we'll take our lunch recess at this time, ladies and gentlemen. Reconvene at 1:30. Please keep in mind that the contrary.